Hey, what is up, everybody? So today we're gonna do a little stroll around Old Sacramento. There's a ton of different shopping spots around here and an old railroad museum. I don't know if they're gonna allow me to film, but I'm gonna try it out. We'll see. I got 2 hours of parking to hang out down here. So as always, let's go explore. I think the first thing we'll do is just stroll down this boardwalk here and see if we're going to be allowed to film inside of the Railroad Museum, the California Railroad Museum. So let's go check it out. We got the Last Stop Saloon. Looks like it's been this guy's last stop. Cool little chill bar, it looks like. You got all the historic spots down here. There's an ice cream shop. The Mad Hatter Donut. That smells so good. Man. I see a sign, museum is open today. And we got the California State Railroad Museum. It looks like a beautiful building. Let's go see how much this is gonna cost and check it out. And here we are. So the museum was $12 a person, full day of admission. And let's go explore the museum. All right, already when you come in, pretty grand entrance. Got a full steam engine and train right in here to start. Path through the mountains talks about the surveyors and engineers and kind of the hard terrain that they had to deal with as far as building an actual railroad through it. Some old maps depicting the California, Nevada, Utah line where it ran through from Sacramento on up, or east, I should say. The Great Dutch Flat Swindle. The city of San Francisco demands justice. Lots of artifacts around here. My knowledge of railroads is not great, but I'd imagine we'll get through it. Governor Stanford. This probably weighs a crazy amount. Can you imagine that thing just barreling down the tracks? Here's some old looks like Chinese artifacts from when they were working on the railroad here. You got teacups, you got a spoon, an opium can. This machine here, the star drill. That's some tedious work, just basically a nail and a hammer through stone. How many hours of work and how many people you think that took? Laying 10 miles of tracks every day. There's basically the Chinese and the Irish. 55,000 pounds of spikes. It's called the Silent Spike. It's looks like a little monument type thing here for the Chinese laborers, which comprise 90% of the workforce. Some photographs. And there's this here. The Jupiter. It's a model here. Central Pacific R line. I guess this was the standard gauge. So this would be the distance between the tracks. I don't know if it's 36 inches or something here. Oh no, standard gauge is 56.5 inches. Here's a cool shot right down the middle of the train from the caboose here. It's pretty ornate. And it says the Phoenix Iron Bridge. It was 72.6 feet long and weighed 65,000 pounds. And this is what the train is sitting on here. You can see these steel beams. Baggage and Express Truckee Railroad here. Got some more artifacts. Car number 16. That's what we're looking at right there. Here's some original photographs before it was restored in here. And then right behind it, we have the Nevada Central Railway, the Silver State, which is this train car right here. It's got blinds, wood blinds that it looks like you could put down or up here. This was probably not cheap to ride on back then. The velvet seats. If I'm not mistaken, down at the end, that may even be a heater down there to keep the passengers warm inside. Packages received here, the Railway Express Agency. So this would have been like the Western Union, basically. Let's see, here's the little storefront, or not storefront, but office, I guess. Lady sitting in there. Here would have been the ticket booth window. This over here is talking about different Californians that had a role in the railroad system, women of the American Railroad, different foremen. And here's another train car for the Monterey and Salinas Valley. This place is pretty chock full with different artifacts. It's really cool. A lot of the insulators, the glass insulators. I think that was, I don't know, at the top of like phone poles or electrical poles. Looks like we can go up top here to the side of this train. Am I misspeaking by saying this is a train and not just a train car? So this has been the crew quarters. You see they got a sink back there, tight squeeze with a couple seats. The kitchen. It's got a full stove, a full sink, a water heater, and then you got the dining car. That's beautiful in there. It's got like a full like couch and a full dining room. Alright, so this is crazy. It says veritable land yacht on wheels, a private railroad car. So in early 1948, railroad aficionados Louis Beebe and Charles Clegg Jr. purchased their first private car, the Georgia number 100. This would the Gold Coast their home, and the Carson City, Nevada yards on the Truckee Railway. So this was a private car. The master stateroom, so that's the big bedroom. You see what looks probably like a twin bed. A full dresser back there with a bathroom attached to it. A stand-up shower. That's very impressive. And then this the guest stateroom. They got the card game set up. Stained glass on the side of it. This is really pretty. And then the observation lounge. So this would be like the area where everyone would come and chill, talk, drink some whiskey, have a cigar. Wow. That's when you're filthy rich. And then opposite of this one's another train. It looks like a train car you might be able to go up into, or at least look inside. The Growers Express. So this would have been a farm car. You can see they got all the produce out here, the workers. From farm to work, a public history. It's got the large door here, outlooking the rest of the museum. So, I mean, this is another museum that I probably never would have came to had I not started this vlogging, and that's what I've loved about it most, is it's forced me to go to these places, spend an hour or two that I probably would have just bypassed, and then you go inside a building like this and it's just like you're just in awe of the history and the artifacts. That sounds detrimental there. An example of a broken railway that may cause accidents. You got an old prosthetic leg. Some Chinese silver. An old first aid kit from 1950. And then a prosthetic hand with spring fingers from the 1940s. I don't know exactly if they just, I'm guessing, stayed in those positions, and then you could kind of use pressure to manipulate that and pick things up. But between that prosthetic leg, which is like you just tied on like a brace, and this prosthetic hand here with spring fingers, that's a really unique artifact that I have never seen before. Some different tchotchkes from looks like the Chicago Railroad Fair and other things. The Mogul tablet, a writing tablet with a railroad theme, some records, Some books with railroad themes. Cigar box from the 1930s, a Southern Pacific cigar box. So a lot of people used to live on the railroad, families of workers and whatnot. And they got a couple drums with a photograph up above of the Western Pacific Band. This here is the North Pacific Coast. Steam engine here. Another flawlessly restored steam engine. 1876. Built in Philadelphia here. They even got the projections up on the wall here. And in this big open room, it looks like they might actually use these to move some trains in and out. Let's go to the window here and see the old, I don't know if they call it a turnstile or what, but that centerpiece, the train would come in, it would sit on that, and then that whole thing can rotate and flip the train around, put it in a different direction. You got the Dayton. Gorgeous. And then they have a diner train car in the back that we can, looks like you can walk through. You got this diner car here, the Santa Fe Railroad, the Cochiti diner car. So let's try to walk through, see if we can get in there. I think I saw people in there earlier, so. Go buy our ticket. One, please. Thank you, Mr. Wings. All right, so it looks like we actually start. You enter the sleeper and dining cars over here. So it looks like a sleeper car first, and then we'll eat in the morning. So it's kind of wild. You can feel this moving all around. I don't know if it's on a system or if that's just from people walking, but I think it's set up on like a little hydraulic system to simulate what it was like when this was moving down the road. Ice water with a little like dispenser down there. It's kind of a trip feeling this thing move around like it would be when it was moving down the railroad. It's kind of throwing me. All right, so I was just taught so much. I don't even know if I could recount everything that the dachshund just informed me of, but man, it's he basically talked about that the railroad basically built America. I mean, we largely know that, right? But the way it was all built was crazy. So these trains, these aren't steam engines like I was saying earlier. Most of them were wood and oil. And he said that the oil, it's like not oil like you think of today that you can kind of manipulate. The oil that was used was a grade that was like molasses, so thick that they had to heat this oil up well over 100 degrees to even be able to run the engines. So they wouldn't even want to turn it off, because sometimes it could take a whole day of burning wood to even get the oil hot enough to be able to run it. So these trains oftentimes would just constantly run. And then he talked about the water and how they sealed the water inside, and a lot of it was built with rivets. So as that water heated up, everything would expand. And that's how it would seal, is because the heat and pressure would actually seal the liquid in. And if it got cold again, they turned the engines off, all that water would just come pouring out. So he just spent about 10 minutes just kind of educating me on everything. That was interesting. As I walk through this dining car here, another thing that he educated me on was the railroads actually weren't, the actual rails weren't fixed to the ground. They actually moved around, and they bend from like the weight of the trains and the pressure of everything and the speed. So they were iron, cast iron, and they would actually move around the entire time that the trains were on it. Another thing that he mentioned was how towns were built. And a lot of towns all kind of started 60 miles apart from one another, because every 60 miles of the train running, they would need to fill up with water. So every 60 miles ended up being a station, ended up being places to work, ended up with men stopping and meeting women, which eventually, families started. And then once the families were started, the whole town's growing. They all got jobs in the railway, whether it was, in the communications or the ticket booths. Here's a mail car, I guess. You got the packages up top, the mail bags on the bottom. Mailman on wheels. Over here it looks like a little bit of line to get into the actual, engine here. So I'm not gonna wait to go inside there, but I mean, this is huge. A locomotive number 4294. I don't know, that thing is 25 feet tall probably. And like he was describing to me, so none of this was actually built and attached into the ground. The rock would actually kind of hold the wood in place, and the rail would be able to move a little bit back and forth, so none of it would actually break under the pressure of the weight. Another beautiful locomotive here. There was so much pride in this stuff, right? They could have just painted it one color. No, there's gold accents, pinstriping. Just works of art in themselves. If I guess correct, I'd imagine that's brakes. So those would actually lock down on the wheels, and that's how they would slow down and stop a train. Put a set of brakes on each wheel, and then on the actual rail right here, that's a tie. So this is what they would use to keep the tracks from actually separating. And there is a third level here. I found the staircase. So let's take a look upstairs. The second level exhibits here. So there's 3 levels, so this is level 2. And then we'll head up to the 3rd level after this. This looks more like a little chill kids area. It's got some chalkboards. I won't put all the kids on camera, but kids are building trains. Let's head up to the 3rd level exhibits. Go back this way and up one more level. It says toy trains up here. I saw some other stuff as well. The Lionel electric trains. This is pretty cool. Old cars, old antique trains. Toy train timeline from the 1900 to 1925. The Lionel City. The first steam whistle. Toy train repair shop. Looks like they actually do repairs here. Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. So that's cool. If you are into toy trains and you need to, replace the gears, or you have discarded electronics, they'll come and fix that for you. Here's a giant running model.
That blue train? Yeah. That baby blue train was this.
Looks like some different buttons that you can press to manipulate things. I don't know if it changes track or if it's just for lights or information, but pretty cool. Some large scale models here. The talking station. A tiny phonograph equipped with a record.
This train for San Francisco, Denver, Chicago, New York, and all points.
That's pretty cool. The S scale. So we were just at the San Ramon Valley Museum yesterday, actually, and they had model trains going, talking about the different gauge. Here's the N scale from the 50s to 60s, the teeny tiny trains. And they got an area for the kids over here. All right, they even got full trains upstairs here, just hanging in the balcony. Got a cigar in his mouth. The Nevada Short Line. This, on all the toy trains as a kid, you always see this, the Southern Pacific Line, and kind of a car that looks like this. So this is the narrow gauge, this is the smaller tracks. As you can see, we just looked at those ones downstairs that were huge and thick. This was on a pretty small, narrow track. This one's not running right now, but a really cool model here. And just artifacts for the model trains, different tracks, different trains. But look at this side over here. A whole wall of toy train cars and locomotives, different sizes, explanations for each one. You know, this one's the Pillsbury, it's the Royal Gorge passenger train that went through Denver and the Rio Grande. And then down below, boarding passes from a ton of different railroads. So here's the models that they would build around the railroad trains, right? The city that surrounds it. So you got the lime kiln. West Side Lumber. This was located in Tulum, in the Sierra foothills. You got the St. Clair Northern. This is the example of the Great Lakes hauling railroads. You got Occidental in Northern California here. And then the San Juan Central. This is a huge model here. This is very cool. Chama, New Mexico. And Smuggler's Cove. I don't know if this is probably on the East Coast if I had to guess. Oh, Australia. Oh, no. It depicts the fictional New England fishing community modeled after towns in coastal Massachusetts and Maine. So what a amazing museum. A great place to take the family and spend a day when it's hot out in Old Sacramento. We'll go walk around Old Sac for a little bit. I have 30 minutes or so to go check out the rest of the area. But as always, we'll exit through the gift shop.
You're welcome.
Excuse me. You got magnets, books, posters, some t-shirts. Let's see what souvenirs I can find out here. All right, so I think I found my shirt. Hobo signs and symbols. And then California Railroad Museum on the sleeve. And I might have to get a magnet too. So let's go get this. All right, so what an awesome little museum. I got my t-shirt, I got my magnet. And yeah, if you guys get the chance to come out here for 12 bucks, you literally cannot go wrong with that. Here it looks like you got an old school candy shop. Candy Lane. You can come in and get your candy in the classic buckets. You got the butterscotch. Classic. Then you got the horse-drawn cart out here. Today's not too hot. Let's walk back the way we came and kind of go around and see what we can find that way. It's only 85 degrees out here right now, and 85 degrees in Sacramento in July. It's kind of unheard of. It can easily get to 105 out here. So really a beautiful day. I mean, I see a lot of people in long pants enjoying the day, so awesome stuff. And then you got the olive mix, the world-class olive oils and balsamic tasting room. So in the olive mix, you got all these flavored olive oils. Mango, cherry, honey vinegar. They offered bread when you walked in, if you wanted to use that for any tasting. Peach, raspberry, apple. Interesting. There's the prices right there. Not too shabby. There's a little bit of everything out here. Pizza, tattoo shops, bars, Mexican restaurants, shaved ice and ice cream. I saw an arcade. There's a underground mini golf here. I might need to come back and check that out one time. That's pretty unique. An Irish pub. River City Shooting Gallery. Serialism. There's been like 4 different candy shops around here. The Old Sacramento Candy Barrel. Evangeline, Weird and Wonderful Gifts and Toys. McGee's Old Time Photos. A lot of souvenir shops. Fish and chip spot over there. That sounds good. I already ate, or I would definitely be getting that. Beautiful sight with the bridge in the background. Roosevelt's shop. Oh, that's at stage 9, so it looks like they got some a pretty cool clothing shop there. Steamers coffee shop. Bakery and cafe. If the amount of ice cream shops didn't tell you how hot it can get out here, all these places can stay in business. Frozen yogurt and ice cream here. They got the Dole Whip. The bar underground, that's awesome. Copper forged jewelry and unique gifts. Across the street over there, it looks like the actual rail yard. So yeah, we're basically back at the car. It's been almost 2 hours. As always, thank you for rolling with me, exploring the area. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was a really beautiful museum. And until next time, peace.